Sunday, August 4th, and I'm at and my voice is strained again. I think it's a bit of Tourette's, and it's a bit of sore throat. But I am once more at London University. I haven't filmed here before, but I've been around a couple of times. It's on the way to the British Museum too. I like going through the area. It's interesting architecture. I'm not sure it's like the rest of London, but it's at least very interesting architecture. And today has been really quite easygoing because tomorrow I'm leaving and I'm kind of in this weird place where I don't really think I can dedicate myself to anything, and I feel like maybe going off and exploring too much would be kind of overkill. I have been going through the streets around here. Okay, yeah, and one thing, I've checked a video of my English, and my attempt at hitting a British accent is horribly fumbled. Mostly I just sound fake and arrogant, to be honest. But I'm going to try it out a bit more, mainly because switching around right now would mess up my head, I fear. But it's been easy going, and I think I've actually, while walking around, I think I've actually figured out what it is that it's been bothering me about, and not just London, but about big city, about like metropoli, if you can say it that way, but really big, huge cities like London. And I think what's been bothering me is that you get some advantages from being a big city. One of those advantages is that you can do things that you wouldn't usually have the platform for doing in smaller cities, like specialty shops and specialty venues and stuff like that. But I don't really see much of that. I don't really think I've seen any of it in London. I've seen a board game cafe in Oxford, but around here it's when you walk down the streets, it's all pretty and the architecture changes, but it's typically just a bunch of cafes, some restaurants, maybe a kiosk, and some shops full of clothes. And it's kind of the same everywhere. It seems weird to me that I mean, simple thing, lots of people like cheese. I don't really, but hey. But a lot of people like cheese, and it would be too much in a smaller town or even a smaller city. But in a big city, why isn't there like a cheese specialist? I've lived in places much smaller than this that had cheese specialists, meat specialists, all kinds of specialists, but I find nothing here. I may just not know where it is, but everywhere I go, it's a couple of cafes, restaurants, nice clothes, maybe a supermarket, but maybe an office supply store, stuff like that. But nothing really that says we're living in a big city, so we can actually do that here. One thing I did come across while thinking that actual thought, in fact, was a second-hand bookstore called Scoop. You get it? Scoop. No, the film is not. It's not mirrored. It's not reversed. It's like that. It's books backward. Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out. That's a fun name. Realized it was books backwards, and I'm kind of proud of that. Second-hand books. Spent quite a bit in there. Oh, let's see if we can show a bit off. I'm not going to pick them out much. A bunch of little compact books. Started out with an atlas, a two-part atlas for world history that I've been looking for years, and lots of dictionaries, for some of them for languages I didn't even know existed. I didn't know there was something called Scots. Thought they spoke Gaelic. I got one of Gaelic too. Yeah. A couple of languages I know, a couple of languages I'd like to know, stuff like that. And yeah, it's upside. I can just turn around, I guess. My first 100 words in Spanish, because sometimes we have to look back at our own performances and say, maybe I need to start over. Yeah, I got that. And if nothing else, just for the hell of it. They were pretty cheap. That's the kind of place I like. Lots of cheap little things. Very enjoyable. Felt really happy afterwards. Kind of cramped place, but I enjoyed it. But there's nothing really. Yeah, I got notes on my arm. Kept forgetting what I was going to say, so I noted it down. Hurts writing in a bad pen on your arm. Have to press. Ow. But I don't really find much specialty novelty stuff that says that this is a big city and we can do that because it's a big city. Even the attractions around there, it's just the same. It's restaurants, cafes, a couple of clothes stores like that. Never found anything else. Might be somewhere, just I didn't find it. Don't see why it would hide itself. But other than that, yeah, I'm checking my notes. Yesterday, after filming, I was leaving the park when I I saw two girls sitting on a bench doing some, I don't know, and it looked like work, it looked like homework or something, on a touchscreen computer, one of those touchpads. And I noticed I was the brand that I use, Arcos, because it's cheap and it's good, and or at least that's my experience with it. They seem to go in more ambitious ways than anything else that basically tries to rip you off, selling crappy products at high prices because the kids today think that's cool. So that was an Arcos, and I thought I'd look at it and ask her what it was. It turned out she didn't speak English. They didn't. Neither of them spoke English. They were Spanish. So I pulled out my Spanish, and they didn't understand it. And then they said something I didn't really understand that. But whoa, death from above or behind. But fiddling around a bit with the languages, we kind of got it through. So I've realized that my Spanish, at least to a person from Spain, Spanish is also spoken in Latin America, which is where I've learned it, and it's really different there. But at least speaking to someone from Spain, I still have a lot of obstacles to overcome. But then again, there are a lot of the people here in London that I don't really understand even when they speak English, because they have pretty strong accents. They come from all over the world, and also they come from all over England. And England has an astounding amount of accents. It baffles the mind. I think it's fantastic and fascinating, but it's really troublesome sometimes. I guess it's the same with Spanish for me, at least in this case. But we figured it out. She didn't know it was a present from the dad. She didn't know anything about it, so. But that kind of set my Spanish in perspective, which might be why I bought the first 100 words book too. But still feel weird. Last day, I feel strange. I feel kind of uprooted. But I'm feeling okay nonetheless. Just not going to be doing much today. Taking the last breaths of air in London. Well, I'll be doing that in Heathrow too. I'm leaving early evening, so it's probably London air there too. But yeah, that's kind of where I am, and I hope my English doesn't sound too horrible. Oh, there's a squirrel! There's squirrels all over the place. They're attacking. Invasion of the squirrels. What else is he eating? He's eating a chip. You found a chip somewhere. See if I can get in a little closer, not scare him off. Hello, little friend. Come on, be a movie star. Hey. Hello. Not here to bother you. We're ready to run. Yeah, we're running. Sorry to bother you at dinner. You're not coming for my books, I'll tell you that. But anyway, with that little extra piece of drama, I'll be signing off today.